Kia ora, and welcome to the Beer Jerk Beer of the Week Drink Along. I'm Joe,
I'm Matt.
And I'm Luke.
and today we're drinking Glory by Small Gods. Tell me about this, Glory creators.
Well, Glory is an orange and clove Belgian dark strong. So it's a strong, dark beer brewed with Belgian yeast, and we added a bunch of orange and cloves to it.
And Small Gods are us. So Matt and I come up with the sort of beers that we're into drinking, really. That are often pretty, cheers, that are often pretty unusual styles, or rare styles, or just unfashionable. And another thing we love doing is releasing beers that are radically out of season.
Yeah, so this summer we released these three beers, the orange and clove Belgian dark strong, the cherry raspberry double stout, and the gingerbread imperial stout. Because, you know, zig when other people are zagging, dark beers during a heat wave is just what you want. But yeah, for us, we do like to drink these kind of beers all year round, and with this, it's perfect because this is the kind of weather where you can leave it out to warm up and it'll get up to drinking temperature really quick.
It's great that it's 27 degrees outside. To be honest, I generally would wait until after dark in the summertime to drink a beer like this. I wouldn't be drinking it at noon as I am at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's pretty delightful to drink at noon. It's really, I think it's really going to help you get through an afternoon at work.
Yeah, I feel like the real consensus that no, dark beers are for the winter and pale beers are for the summer. Like, there's some weight to it during the day, like you say, when it's hot and you want something light and refreshing. But in the evening, when you want to sit down and nurse a beer, it's like, it's just as good in summer as winter. And when you want something just like really big and flavorful, and it's a taste sensation.
Yeah, and this is a great beer for nursing. And as Matt said, it's part of a trilogy of beers that are all just big, robust, Northern Hemisphere festive sort of flavours. We're inspired by desserts.
Yeah.
And by a lot of the Small Gods beers. The names and the stories behind them, and sometimes the recipes are inspired by history, mythology, theology, and there's a bit of a theological link to the flavours in this, right?
Yeah, so that orange and clove, I think it was
I can see you racking your brains trying to remember what the word is for that thing.
I am, and I haven't come up with it.
The ball with the studded cloves, right?
Yeah, so always
yeah.
in my family during the winter in the southern hemisphere, you'd hang up an orange on a ribbon and you'd put cloves in the outside.
Yeah.
It was smelt fantastic, and it was kind of really evocative. And we wanted to bring those flavors into the beer. So we used Mandarina Bavaria hops, a German hop with a real kind of orange influence to it, to bring that flavor in. We made a clove tincture where we toasted some cloves ourselves, tinctured those in some spirit to really bring those flavors out, and that got added. And then that kind of reinforces the flavor that you're getting from the Belgian yeast that we used, which gives off those kind of citrusy, spicy flavors and aromas as well. So really kind of doubling down on that character to create a kind of nuanced and depth to the flavor of the beer.
We love a tincture, don't we?
Love a tincture.
And a touch of vanilla.
Yep.
For just that bit of quite a bit of unusual things to add, but like a bit of softness and roundness, I think.
Yeah. So with the malt base on this beer, it's a bit more roasty than a lot of Belgian dark strongs would lean towards. A bit more body, while it still has that dry finish that you'd expect from the style. But yeah, really wanting to meld those roast characters with the spice and the fruit character, and that vanilla acts as a real bridge that kind of ties it all together, and kind of takes the harsh edges off the roast, and it's a lovely beer for kind of getting that really real palate length on it, where as you sip it, as it warms up, it's going to deliver all those flavors at different parts of the palate, and it's a beer that's going to develop with time as well. So if you're enjoying this, there is some more available on the Beer Jerk website. So it's this beer next summer is going to be tasting even better than it does now.
Yeah, definitely a good one to grab a few of, stick in the cellar, and all three of these beers will age nicely. Clove is kind of it's a clever complementary thing for this style of beer, and often you get clovey character in the yeast, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
You much of a fan of cloves, Joe?
Not hugely. I don't like the tongue numbing sensation so much.
Yeah.
It's not super prevalent in this, but yeah, it's not one of my favourite spices.
It definitely is there. I'm getting a bit of a sort of a
Yeah.
numbiness. Yeah, just big clovey character. Yeah, I think it's going to be divisive. I think there might be a few. Maybe out of all three of this this bauble trilogy, this might be the most divisive of them.
Yeah, there's always one in our winter beers and summer trilogies, isn't there? You got the Gaspar.
The oat wine. Had our the sticky date quad as well was fairly out there, but the Gaspar. Then in the first year we had the Christmas pudding barley wine, Old Saint Nick. Sorry, that was Chris Kringle.
Chris Kringle, yeah. Chris Kringle aged amazingly.
Yeah.
I had a can of that like only a couple months before Christmas, just this year, so almost 2 years old. That was tasting super good.
Yeah, I've still got a couple of those tucked away. It's always I've got a bit of a library of those beers at home, and every year around this time trying to bust them out, but every year we release more. It's just like, oh god, I've got like 10% beers to get through over the course of a month.
Never ending.
It is, but it's worth it.
And we've always got beers coming out.
We do.
Small Gods.
Next week we've got 3 new beers packaging. It's our biggest release week outside of the trilogy.
Yeah.
The trilogies, it's our biggest release week ever. We've got 3 really exciting beers in tank. I don't know if we're going to tell people what they are. Are we going to tell people what they are, Luke?
No, we need to save something to talk about in the future.
Yeah.
So everything.
They are definitely leaning into more of your summery midday beers than your evening beers, I'll tell you that. So we're doing a new style that I think has never been brewed before. We're doing something that we've definitely never tried before, and we're bringing back another favourite series of ours. So speculate all you like about what those might be.
People might guess what the third one is.
Maybe.
But those might be a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
And that will make 55 different beers that Small Gods have released. And never repeated a brew.
Yep.
Maybe we should repeat one someday. Which Small Gods beer would you repeat, Joe?
Forbidden fruit.
We do have some straws left, so we could make that happen. Have another awesome watch party.
Well, for me, I'd probably really repeat the arms race because I'm drinking a lot of that at the moment, and I'm enjoying that. That's the 100 IBU double IPA that we put out 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's currently trending towards being our most highly rated beer. It's got 1 beer ahead of it at this stage, but it's a real old school double IPA, big kind of classic American hops, Citra, Amarillo, Cascade, Centennial, big kind of old school malt base as well, bringing that caramel sweetness. So if you're doing a bit of a shop and picking up some big beers, that's another one that I definitely recommend grabbing right now while it's fresh, because I'm so stoked with that beer. It's fantastic.
It's good beer. So what's the number 1 Small Gods beer on tap? Is it Santa?
It is Santa.
Yeah.
But the arms race is getting there. It's being pipped by 0.1 at the moment. So.
Oh, wow.
But beers like this are good to release because we know best.
We do.
So if we just left it to all our wonderful drinkers, they would just want to drink coconut, chocolate, snowball, imperial stouts all the time, which are nice.
They are.
But also it's nice to sort of push your boundaries with being forced to drink an orange and clove Belgian dark strong ale.
Yeah.
Even though you might not be that into it. Joe, you're really nursing your glass there.
I have so much work to do this afternoon.
And it is not even lunchtime yet. Well, talking of big events, you've just scheduled the date for Summer NanoFest.
Yeah, we're doing, I think last time we said we're doing them seasonally.
Yeah.
And I realised summer's almost over, so I should probably get onto that.
You're making it sound like we're disorganised here at PJ Jones.
Yeah, so I'm trying to put together an exciting little capsule from 3 very small Otago breweries.
Yeah.
And just the other small guys hitting up people like Manaya out sort of east of Auckland that you don't see too often. Just a fun tap list.
Yeah.
Great time. Get a food truck in, and should be a good day.
NanoFest is always awesome.
Yeah.
We'll have DJ Apparel Spritz, spinning the vinyls. Yeah, be a great day. So come along to 901st. We haven't told you the date. Are we going to share it or?
Yeah, of course. It's the 10th, isn't it?
Yeah, 10th of Feb, yeah, Saturday. Which will be great.
12 to 8.
Yeah. Well, good work, us.
Cheers, us.
Cheers, Small Gods. And cheers for joining us. I hope you enjoy the beer of the week, and I hope you're not drinking it in the middle of the day when it's 27 degrees.
Well, I hope you are. Cheers.